I can't think of a better way to kick off 2016 than with one of the great heroes of personal computing. And I am really thrilled to welcome Lee Felsenstein to our studios today. I'm going to run down the list for the young people in the audience who don't know who this man is. And I think it'll be sufficiently detailed, even though I'm skipping through a lot of stuff, that you'll get some sense of. He says, I'm no longer a wunderkind, and I'm going to dub you the grand old man of personal computing. One of the original members of the Homebrew Computer Club, designed the Osborne 1. We've actually taken the liberty of setting up an Osborne 1 next to Lee. He's going to give us a hint. Look at that. The first portable computer, and a remarkable device that everybody, including me, salivated over. They did the original Sol personal computer, designed that. Did the penny whistle modem and a bunch of other S100, classic S100 designs. Went on to do the Community Memory Project, which was an attempt to put networked computer terminals in public places so that people could share and record their memory. Really, in some ways, the first social network
media.
Before the internet.
Before my involvement with personal computers. That was 1973.
So this all starts, and I think I love this. John Markoff wrote a book, what the Dormouse said, which really implied, and I think was accurate, that it was we children of the 60s who kind of brought personal computing, but with a unique mindset too.
And one might say created personal computing as we know it.
So you agree with that thesis?
Yes, I do. I mean, he and I talked.
I'm sure he did.
Rather extensively before that book.
You were part of the free speech movement in 1965 at Berkeley, where you were studying engineering.
Right.
So, actually, I'm really curious. How did I feel like a child of the 60s. I'm a little younger than you, but at the same time, was very much formed by that era. Mm-hmm. How did that inform what you were doing as an engineer?
Well, fundamentally, it informed it. In other words, it always, for me, all goes back to that. And in fact, there was one incident, I call it a police radio incident. In the process, I was fortunate. It's another long story, but I happened to be on campus without having to take classes at that point. I was in the work period of a work-study program. So I was hanging around the headquarters of the free speech movement, and at one point, some people ran in and said, the campus is surrounded by police, which when you know the Berkeley campus, that would be a real accomplishment. But then nobody knew one way or the other, so I had been trying to be helpful with my technological skills. I tried to create a sort of manual key sort card filing system for them. It totally failed at that. So people just knew I was some kind of tech guy. So everybody turned to me. It seemed, from a subjective standpoint, everybody turned to me and in one voice said, "Quick, make us a police radio." There was one person who was saying that.
Quick.
Yeah. And I tried to say, well, and I knew what it involved. And I tried to, but you don't understand, it's more difficult, it takes time, whereupon everybody said in unison, never mind about that, make us a police radio.
You can do it.
Well, the problem was, yes, in my mind, a few things happened. One is I started a project to build a police radio from a construction project I had seen in Popular Electronics. But that took several months, never got completed properly. But on the other side of my mind, I realized, oops, I'm making a big mistake by hanging around and waiting to be given orders, waiting to be told what to do.
Interesting.
I've got to work ahead of the perceived need. I've got to figure out what to do and do the work necessary so that when it comes down to the crunch, I can be able to say, well, you can't have that, but here's what you can have.
What an incredible insight.
It's
and that was the foundation of everything that...
That's right. That's right.